Hi, and welcome to another episode of Hot Takes with me, the Silver Fox. And this video is another one of those in the police are not your friends category. This particular policeman is definitely not your friend. Thankfully, he is no longer a policeman. But he is, unfortunately, still walking the streets and presenting a danger to women. And the judge in the case, instead of locking him up, simply said, "You're not allowed to use a changing room." When you see what he's done, you'll wonder why he was given a suspended sentence. Let's look at this article, and I warn you, you'll be angry. Met Police Officer 36 caught secretly photographing a woman in a Primark changing room before being caught with vile images of is given a suspended sentence. Personally, I would give him a suspended sentence. I would let him see the ladder, take a walk out, see the short piece of rope, and then suspend him from it. Swaleh Chaudhry spied on the victim in Wandsworth changing room on March the 30th. Search of the home found hundreds of images. Chaudhry was given a 10-month sentence to be suspended for 18 months. I think the judge needs to be suspended right next to Mr. Chaudhry. Those few seconds before the floor opens beneath them will concentrate the mind wonderfully. But getting into the story, a Metropolitan Police officer who was caught secretly photographing a woman in Primark changing room before being caught with images of children has been given a suspended sentence. Swaleh Chaudhry, 36, spied on his victim while she was changing her trousers before she spotted his camera at the changing room in Wandsworth on March 30th. Following his arrest, a search of his home uncovered devices with hundreds of P images. This sick. Gonna stop. The language you've got to be careful of. YouTube doesn't like it, but you know exactly. Chaudhry, who was already served 16 weeks in custody, was given a 10-month sentence to be suspended for 18 months because the judge probably enjoyed seeing the pictures. Appearing today at Kingston Crown Court, prosecutor Stephen Apted said that Mr. Chaudhry, who was off duty at the time, had entered the unisex changing rooms 15 minutes before the woman arrived. And on the 30th of March this year, the victim, who was in her mid-20s, was shopping in Primark at Southside Shopping Centre in Wandsworth at about 4:40. She took some trousers into the changing room, and after changing the first pair, she heard a rustling sound and saw the camera underneath the gap in the adjoining changing room. The victim shouted, "Are you recording me?" and heard Chaudhry responding, "No," an interaction which was overheard by her boyfriend. He confronted the defendant and was then placed in a room by staff members at Primark while the victim contacted the police. This is a policeman. They were contacting his own organisation. This is why you never trust policemen. They're not vetted. They just turn up, given a uniform and told to go, sit in their cars, eat donuts, and then commit vile crimes like M and R and now CP. This isn't happening once. You know, regular viewers will know how many videos I do on what the police do. These aren't the bad apples in the barrel. They're bad barrels. Every single policeman is corrupt. Every single policeman is guilty because they know this is happening and they're doing nothing because they're protecting their own. The court heard that Chaudhry had continued to protest his innocence and allowed staff members to look at photographs on his phone. After officers arrived, he informed them that he was a serving member of the Met Police and they found his warrant card and mobile phone. A search of his home address found a number of electronic devices, including a USB and a storage device which held hundreds of disgusting and extremely distressing images that had been downloaded between 2011 and 2014. The court heard these pictures and videos involved you can read the words. Got to be careful again. Got the rules. He pleaded guilty at his first appearance at Wimbledon Magistrates Court and handed his resignation to the police. The police should not have accepted his resignation. The police should have fired him the moment the allegation came out. In an impact which shows that the police didn't fire him, which is why you can never trust the police. In an impact statement read aloud by the prosecutor, his victim said she had been left constantly overwhelmed, confused and unsettled by the violation and she'd become paranoid and anxious, and who can blame her? Since this horrific incident, which took place on the 30th of March, I'm not the same person. I would never have thought wouldn't be the woman I was before entering that changing room. I still to this day am struggling to come to terms with what has happened. Growing up, I was taught that the police were the first point of call in an emergency, she continued. And now you know better, love, and I've been saying it for a long time. The police are not your friends. They're not to be trusted. Every single one of them is corrupt, is bent, is dangerous, is a potential R and M. Do not trust the police. To learn that a police officer has put me in danger, completely violating me by recording me on his mobile phone for his own sexual gratification, is unfathomable. How do I begin to erase the trauma that this police officer has caused? I would suggest you get the one to pull the lever and watch him drop. She also said that she was extremely disgusted by the reactions of staff at the Primark, as she claimed the manager had empathised with Chaudhry and assured him the police would not be called. He's a policeman. And the store manager said, don't worry, we'll not call the police. Ladies, stop shopping at Primark. Primark are enablers of R and CP. They weren't going to call the police on this man. Anyway, it goes on. I'm not going to go on. It's a lot of sort of who said she did this and what. But the point is, we are sitting in a world where police cannot be trusted, and it seems neither can Primark. So let me come up and finish. The fact that this man, Chaudhry, is still walking the streets baffles me. It should baffle you. He is a dangerous man. He is potentially a threat to women. Now, nobody jumps straight in at the deep end. The fact that he started to do shots on his phone and look at this stuff, that's the gateway to more serious actions, shall we say. He is potentially going to R or M someone. And when that happens, that judge will go, well, I gave him 10 months and suspended it for 18 months. That'll please the victim, won't it? No end. Chaudhry should, since we can't do the drop, Chaudhry should do 30 years. The judge should do 30 years beside him. Primark. Now, women, I know you like Primark. It's cheap. It's, available. But when they are enabling this kind of behaviour, do you really want to give this organisation your money? This is an organisation that happily condones the abuse of women and of children. I'd give Primark a miss if I were you. Let them pay the price that the courts won't impose on Chaudhry. Let them know what we feel. Take your money and spend it elsewhere. Thank you for listening. If you like what you hear and see on the channel, please hit the subscribe button. Ring the bell for future notifications. Leave a like, leave a comment. And until next time, stay safe, stay well, don't trust the police, don't shop in Primark, and goodbye.